get right into the news.
Talk about the campaign and what we've done so far.
Okay. So, specifically, the campaign so far has really just been a result of an extremely impulsive decision when me and a bunch of other artists we just kind of, got together and just started it up.
Yeah.
Really? Talked about D&D, and this shit started. Stuff so far. How about before we get into starting, we should probably introduce the crewmates so far.
Alright.
The players.
Yeah.
And also the player characters.
Yeah. So, I'll go first. This is, my character, Vincent.
He's the only one keeping the crew afloat right now.
Socially, at least.
Yeah, socially at least.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the last session, and basically nothing happened.
Not basically nothing happened. Some interesting things happened. It was more so just the fact that at the start it was just kind of quiet.
Everyone
yeah.
Just hold on the ship, I guess. So his name is Vincent Lactodrek. Oh, this takes place in the North Blue, by the way.
Apparently, from what Spark has told me, North Blue hasn't been explored at all by Oda, or I don't fucking know.
We know some things that's there, but it's basically nothing. So we just take the North Blue setting and just made it our own.
Yes.
And
because reality can be whatever I want it to be. Hey, ET's here. Hello, ET.
Hey, ET. Vincent is from an island called Glowing Mills. It is it's an island all about self-expression.
In all different forms, not just music.
It's like being yourself and expressing oneself. Here,
basically, Spark wanted to play a bard, and from there, we kind of took that idea of, because in One Piece, everyone has those kind of abilities that's not really explained, by a devil fruit or whatever. They just kind of have them, Spark knows a few examples. I can't remember them off the top of my head. From that, we just kind of went in Glowing Meal's spirit bullshit as to explain why he can essentially do magic.
Yeah, basically.
It's really interesting to see what we can do in a setting that has little to no magic and try kind of building off of that. For example, in the future, and these next two characters we're going to be introducing, there's actually a way of Mercy Monk that has a very interesting way in the way he does things. He has a very interesting way.
I'm very excited to tell you guys about it. So basically, at Glowing Mills, this because his magic is a really important part of his character. So just explain that. So in Glowing Mills, you're born in there, and then you get red hair, the part of the spirit that lives inside of you, which is reflavored magic.
I kind of more so imagined it as being it's a hereditary thing that a lot of the people that grew up in Glowing Mills just kind of naturally had red hair, and then it just kind of spread around, and then boom, everyone has red hair now.
Kind of like how you go to a beach and you get a tan, that look hair.
I guess that's one way of saying it.
I wouldn't. That's how I got what you.
That's definitely not how genes work.
That's not how genes work.
I don't think you could just get a tan and suddenly turn a different hair color.
One Piece genes
just works, really.
Oh my gosh, ET! I thought you were in the chat when you said.
Yeah, ET was in voice chat a little bit ago.
I'm not looking at Discord right now. So you're born. 8 years later, you get an instrument, and then 15 years later, at age 23. You are sent to travel the world, and then explore.
On what is called a pilgrimage.
Yeah, pilgrimage. And then time passes. You die. Your body gets placed into a hole on Glowing Mills, and then you fertilize a tree. A tree is
tree's planted. Yep.
Another child turns 8. Your tree is cut down, and then the cycle repeats. And it is a very, very weird cycle. It sounds like
honestly.
a cult. It's not.
It's definitely a cultish thing.
It sounds like a cult. But it's
actually, no. That's a good story arc for the future. Actually, either someone that practices Glowing Mills religious things just out of context completely, and they're viewed as a cult, or more so someone overhears just Glowing Mill practices and mistakes it for a cult or whatever.
Symbolic of it's because One Piece is all about carrying on the will of those dead. So that fits perfect with One Piece. Back to the character. Vincent is from the North Blue. Favorite thing is storytelling, music, and people he's met throughout his life. Biggest fear is losing the people he loves. Goal is to travel the world and make a name for himself and become the best bard. It's basically just the greatest entertainment.
He just wants to be a big fucking musical nerd, essentially.
Basically.
You see all those kids in band classes, drama club, just
That's
Put that
just
together and add just a dash of wholesomeness and also loyalty.
And
you got
also,
Vincent.
murderous only bartenders by accident, or anyone in a bar.
Yeah, okay, this is kind of off the side. I think we might actually cover it when we get into recapping the session so far.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's just a kind of natural thing that happens. Glowing Mills people just kind of just have this thing for bartenders, where they're best described as being bartender enders.
Yeah, well, like
not even meant.
Like
it's completely by accident, but they just end up like either killing bartenders or putting them out of business.
Like
or like very severely injuring them.
Yeah, like for example, I just used the message spell, cantrip, for in the first and it basically catches them off guard, and then they're like holding a glass, and then he fell.
You can explain it more in detail, but
not intentional.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Done with Vincent?
Yeah, almost done with Vincent. Favorite color is red.
There's a lot to be said about Vincent.
Yeah. Favorite animals: a duck, a lemur, and otter. Biography: Vincent grew up a very happy childhood. He grew up with his best friends Lucia Vanderson, Duke Zagsworth, raised by Vincent's grandpa, Dante. After his grandma, Julia, passed away, Dante buried her body in the Forest of 1,000 Stories on Glowing Mills and eventually fertilized a tree when Vincent turned 8 years old and was given a red flute with the initials LDV engraved on it that made out of his grandma's tree. At the age of 23, he was sent off to explore the world as it is his island's tradition.
And also kill bartenders, as it's also his island's tradition, whether they realized it or not.
And also just about me, you used to call me Spark. I'm from California, live in America. Favorite thing is just showing and jump on YouTube. I'm really horrified of the ocean. Go watch every Pokemon episode. My favorite color is blue. My favorite animal is probably a duck, because I think they're really funny.
Have you seen the ocean, by the way? Shit's terrifying.
Yeah, it is horrifying. And I'm just an 18-year-old that loves everything about One Piece and Pokemon and writing. Want to do Alana's next?
Yeah, I got you. All right, so Roughnut, for reasons, cannot speak. So she has actually created a character that's a very fun character to read for and all that. And they talk mainly and expressly through writing down on a notebook. Her character essentially had this accident when she was younger, where essentially her vocal cords kind of got stabbed out, essentially. That's what those scars are on her throat. Or something happened to her, like, causing her vocal cords to give out. Her character's name is Alana Maluhia. It's actually a Hawaiian name. Her home island is Huna, which we don't know much about. Her home ocean is, of course, the North Ocean, which is what we're seeing a map of right now, thanks to Spark, the lovely man who made it. Yeah. Thanks again, Spark.
You're welcome.
Her favorite thing is completing a job. Her biggest fear is not being prepared. Her goal is apparently unknown. Her favorite color is white. Her favorite animals are rats. And her bio is a mute woman who has dedicated her life to the practice of medicine. Not much else is currently known. Alana is, for all sakes and names and all that, essentially just a mysterious person who just not much known about, essentially.
I found her.
We have a lot of that in our crew.
Yeah, just a slight bit. There's a reason why the campaign's name is Golden Memories.
It's the captain, by the way. I forgot to say that.
Yes, Vincent is the captain of the crew.
And making Alana the first mate, she was first to join.
Now I will introduce Rafna.
Her name.
Her home state is Missouri. Her home country is America. Favorite thing, spooks, of course. Power scaling 2. Sign-in manga, is that how you say it?
Yeah,
writing. I also love listening to the sound of people talk. Yeah, biggest fear, snakes. Her goals are absolutely nothing.
She likes green.
Yeah. Her favorite animals are penguins and kitties.
She's a 23-year-old woman who works for faculty for a living, and she can't speak. Yes, she did apologize for, but it's really nothing for us, and I hope everyone understands that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna prioritize like
everyone having
us
fun.
Having fun, I guess. Because that will just make more entertaining stream for you guys to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you gotta accommodate, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like gotta make like if the players aren't having fun, then you guys wouldn't have a fun stream to watch.
Obviously, this is something I should more so worry about, but the enthusiasm is there, and you love to see it.
Alright.
Alrighty.
But next would be me, right?
Yeah, next is Nikolai Voltov.
Yes. You want to do that?
Nikolai Voltov. I should Now, first and
Yeah, go ahead.
foremost, I actually have no idea what my character is. I don't know, joking. I only know like somewhat because of his backstory. Actually, he's is amnesiac mechanic, which is I don't see a lot of in the like amnesiac and stuff.
Well, I mean, actually, yeah, you kind of do, but at the same time, you don't, because when people make amnesiacs, usually the DM has to write backstory, and I didn't exactly have any qualms with it. I wasn't going to say anything, because, well, that just happened to work perfectly for my plans, but, like, still, yeah.
Yeah, so he actually don't know what his home island or home ocean is. Actually, I have like no idea of who he was when he first woke up with like just a bunch of explosion scars all over him. He been traveling around for around 6 months before he met the crew, finding little bits and pieces of making machines and selling them to get by. He's quite he's quite a capable inventor though. Recently in the campaign, he just discovered that he actually had an AI assistant. Yeah, his favorite thing is just creating things, testing the limit of things. Yeah, as his gun can fire, and sharing just info dumping to people that he can trust. Biggest fears are bugs. His biggest fears are bugs, especially wasps and bees. He also have fear of bodies of water, and his biggest fear is forgetting and being forgotten. His good goal is to find his lost memory and basically find who he was. I prefer to use they them pronouns if that's possible. I'm from Vietnam. I like to draw while vibing to just music. I also like to sing and bake from time to time. As well, I have a sort of social anxiety, so I'm really like stuttery in front of and stuff. I want to be a cool person one day. I like purple and cyan, and I like bird and reptiles, but in general, I really like animals.
Well, yeah, we never said anyone's classes, right? Vincent is a bard, Alana is a full artificer, and Nikolai is 3 levels in a rogue, 1 level in artificer.
Fuck, moving Nikolai out of the way. It looks like I would just come in and punch him out of the way.
I can do this. 1 second. Yeah.
It just looks like I was just punching everyone at once.
He's just about to like uppercut Alana.
Now he's the captain now.
He is the captain now.
Ivan is, he's a him. He's a guy, obviously. His home island is Yodu. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah,
it's his home ocean is the North Blue. So this is an island that is established within the North Blue, which is the big map. Once again, made by Spark. Thank you.
There.
Yeah, right above his fist. You kind of positioned that great. His favorite thing is cold temperatures. His biggest fear is losing someone he loves again. His goal is revenge, as every single Edge boy's goal is. His favorite color is purple. His favorite animals are cats. Ivan Dusk is a martial artist doctor, way of mercy monk. So to essentially explain how he does the fucking Way of Mercy shit. So for those of you guys that don't have anything memorized when it comes to D&D, Way of Mercy Monk is a specialized form of monk that focuses on healing and dealing damage in specific ways. So specifically for him, the way he's flavored it is as hitting pressure points. So he can hit a pressure point on himself or his allies to heal them, and he can hit pressure points on his enemies to deal damage to them. So cool little thing, like all Edge boys, this guy has a fucking mental illness, of course. He has developed DID, Dissociative Identity Disorder, and that's all we're going to touch on that subject for now, just to keep it as a surprise.
Next, that's about this character, and then we'll get into the player for Ivan, and then we'll be getting to the story recap.
I should probably also introduce myself as well.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. All right, talk about the man, Barry.
Barry, yes. Shit, I'm checking VC no mic, not the channel. Oh, hold up.
There we go. It's in the edge.
Yeah, I got it, yeah. His name is Barry. He goes by he, him pronouns. His home state is New Mexico. His home county is Albuquerque. I didn't know that.
How
okay.
You say that?
Yeah, Albuquerque. Did you not know that?
I thought it was gibberish.
It's not gibberish. Albuquerque. Yeah, English is a weird language. Don't question it. His favorite thing is drawing. Yeah. His biggest fear are ants, and he has in parentheses, don't ask why. His goal is to live life. His favorite color is pink/magenta. His favorite animals are chameleons and foxes. His bio, he's an 18-year-old bisexual anime lover who likes to draw, play RPGs, and, you know, all the classic nerdy stuff. In his own words. Direct quote right there. Hello, people call me what? I'm 15. I go by dude pronouns. He, him. I'm identified Californian at birth, so obviously just call me dude, whatever. Home state, California, obviously, you know, already kind of said it. My favorite things to do are not work, mainly, procrastinate, play video games, hang out with friends, all that shit. Biggest fear? I'd probably have to say the dark for reasons I'm not going to go into right now.
The dark is horrifying.
It's not mainly the dark itself, it's more so like, I'm not going to go into it right now. What's in the dark? All that BS, yeah. Not going to go into it right now.
That's fair.
My main goal for this, I guess, is to, I don't know, run a good campaign, run one that people can have fun with, at least. My favorite color is purple, too. My favorite animals are, I'd say, dogs. Yeah, that's pretty much it about me right now.
Nice.
Now that we have that completely done, should we probably move on to the whole recap?
There, Captain Vincent Lactodrek was. His first name, Alana, sailing the North Blue on the glorified piece of driftwood Vincent calls his boats, the Brochure to Wonders. They dock at
literally a
Island
fucking driftwood
and meet Bruce, the fish salesman. Vincent befriends him, walks away with Alana waving goodbye. They go to a tavern and meet Nikolai Voltov and Ivan Dusk. After the awful bar food, Vincent and Alana invited them to get some good food and walked back to Bruce's stall. After some encouraging words from Vincent, Bruce became inspired and put on an amazing show for everybody. It was amazing and prepared the group just as amazing fish dates. After such performance, Vincent invited him to join the crew, but just then, a gun was fired in Vincent's direction, but misses, hitting Bruce. But luckily, he was able to be healed by Alana. The shooter was revealed to be David the barista Vincent had met 3 months prior to the campaign beginning. Also, David is a member of the Scope Pirates. They all vow to kill Vincent after he got their bar shut down by a Marine captain on Garcia Island. They fight, and it's looking dire. But then, Gregory Tiberius III appears, and his new friend Wilbur Impractical. Everyone, eventually, after many failed attempts at peace from Vincent, the Scope Pirates were defeated. Ivan takes the boat and charges everyone if they want to ride to the next island. Bruce, Gregory, Nikolai, and Wilbur all officially joined the crew.
Gregory was a player character that's who's unfortunately have already decided to stop.
Yeah, he kind of had to drop out because of some scheduling conflicts, which is kind of the big killer of every single D&D campaign, possibly. Scheduling conflicts.
Yeah, but we're still friends. We're all still friends with him.
Obviously, nothing bad happened. It was more so just scheduling shit that just...
And for the NPCs on the crew, we also have Bruce, Vincent's best friend.
Obviously, yes.
Step Island. And he's the glowing Golden Memories chef. And also Wilbur is another mechanic we picked up that we got as a package.
He's my mechanic friend.
Yeah.
Yes. They are mechanic buddies. And they're roommates. E.T., you want to do the next recap?
Crew and Ivan sailed to Mimi Island, and where they tried some really surprisingly amazing spaghetti. Ivan and Alana went on a walk and they ran into the third NPC, I think. Third kind of body NPC, not really. Kitty Man passed Ivan and developed some fires that got his attention, and Shady orders Ivan to join Vincent's crew, and he'll give him more info and stuff. Who tried to find the guy who was lost in the crowd, and they did, and then they went to a general store because Gregory demanded they do. Gregory has a thing for general stores.
Yes, it's really weird.
I think it was terrible.
Maybe. Well, I mean,
They went to the general store and restocked
main problem is he
supplies,
never
but
built this character, but
they were interrupted by a young teenager Marine. His name is Poppy C. Son of the Marine Captain Vincent met on Flora Seeds. Speaking of Vincent, he has a 70,000 berry bounty on his head. So,
which
quote
at this
unquote,
early on in campaign is pretty high. To be fair,
quote unquote, repeated distillers and assaulting bartenders across. Yeah, Vincent has this thing for accidentally destroying bartenders' businesses and sometimes their lives.
that's another like
Poppy tells him the across enough room, and for the past 5 months, and that he will capture him. Crew calls him a kid, and he screamed at them that he is not. He is, in fact, an early bloomer. He chased the crew off Miami and they sailed once again. Goodbye, child.
Okay. Want the next one?
Got him. Yeah, I got the next one. Yeah.
Oh, you got Contua. I'm sorry. This
Oh
one
no, this is good.
It's gonna
Okay.
be long.
So essentially, after the crew, did their entire thing back at Mia, it was a rather not so good time down in Mia. The two of them, so about a majority of the crew, Alana and Ivan, really didn't like it because the spices in the air were enough to like clog up their noses pretty much, which I guess understandable. But like after that, the crew's next stop was a place called Paptua, who, after Alana insisting that they sail there for some reason, they end up sailing down that area. After showing up there, they were met by a really eerie one, like something that's way different than any kind of island they've been to before. Just too quiet. Because it was a really dark, dreary outlook kind of place, like Silent Hill 2 vibes, pretty much. Yeah, the entire island was covered by this really heavy fog. And after they got off of the docks and they went further into the island, they started noticing a lot of people's homes had windows broken into. Like, a lot. The majority of them all had, like 3 out of 4 homes, essentially, just had windows broken into, pretty much. After finding these different broken into homes, they ended up inspecting a place. And in there, they found what can only be described as victims, but yeah, they found victims, essentially, very, very mutilated bodies of someone, I guess. Can't get too much into it right now, because obviously, just a general base recap. Baseline is, people are killed. Hella killed. Mega killed. Hella dead. Super dead.
Half the population.
Yep. And it wasn't good, that's for sure. After this, they decided to actually start going around, and they ended up going to the general store on this island as well, obviously, because everyone loves general stores. Understandable, I guess. In this place, the crew were met with the sound of a gun cocking, and then after, they realized that it wasn't anyone bad, it was actually essentially a young kid, Jonathan, like 16, 17, who was wearing like an apron of the store's logo on it. He identified them as, not being mass murderers, and they got chill. They were all chill. He essentially explained the situation to them that there was a mass murderer going around. He didn't have too much details on him, except for the fact that he only struck at nighttime. And not only that, for some reason during nighttime, lights just kind of didn't work. They got absorbed into the fog, almost. So that was pretty weird. After this, they kind of started formulating a plan to, end up catching the guy out so they could help the entire island out. Ivan came up with the idea of building this big bonfire using various chopped up reclaimed wood from the various places around, what's it called? Just different houses around, different kinds of furniture, all that shit. I'm about 90% sure he also busted down a door and then used the resulting door for the bonfire too. So
I think he kicked down a door. To get the
he
food.
did kick down the door. just straight up fucking just picked it down. Off its hinges. Which is kind of insane, you know? Those things are built fucking sturdy. They're built different. Don't know what to say. But yeah, after that, they kind of went around and did more exploring before it hit nighttime, because they were still hunting. Over the course of this, Vincent and Nikolai ended up being together as Alana and Ivan were together in another area. Vincent and Nikolai went to another house, and in this house they actually ended up finding a little kid who was on his own by the name of Axel Snaps. And Vincent ended up actually recognizing the kid as like, after the kid talked about his parents and shit, he said how his dad died. Well, he didn't say his dad died for him, he just said his dad went out during nighttime and never came back. If he could have been killed in the fucking afterlife, he wouldn't. That's how dead he was. Hella dead. But yeah, Axel Snaps, as his name was later revealed, also talked about his mother. Yeah, Axel Snaps also talked about his mother, and how she was also working with the Marines, and also how the Marines weren't doing anything, because there was actually a Marine presence on this island. A very, very small Marine presence, however, there was still a Marine presence on this island, and that kind of turned everyone off away from it, so like, yeah, it was really weird why Alana wanted everyone to come here anyways in the first place, you know? Pretty weird. But yeah, after everyone just kind of like showed up, essentially, you know, just... It really, you know, kind of got a lot better because after meeting Axel, you guys kind of went together, went off on your own still, yet again. Vincent and Nikolai ended up traveling over to the Marine base, which is on the other side of the island. And after talking with Jonathan about it, the kid working at that general store, I say kid, he was like 17, 18. I'm saying kid because like that's young in One Piece, so like, yeah. Axel's kid though, he's like fucking 11, 12. Don't know what to say.
Kid in One Piece is like 5. Yeah, 5 to 12.
Well then this is a fucking child. Alright? Jonathan was a kid. This guy's a fucking child.
Yeah. Wasn't Axel like 8?
Axel was like 10, 11.
Yeah,
He was not 8. If he was 8, he wouldn't even know the concept of death, my guy. Bruh. But yeah, like, after meeting them and after talking with Jonathan more about it, they figured out where the Marine base on the island was. They went there, and, you know, of course, as soon as they opened up the door, for some reason, it's kind of a running thing that happened, a gun was cocked in their face, again. You know, kind of a running thing that happened on top, too. The person behind the gun revealed to be someone named Cameron Snaps, yeah. Cameron Snaps. Based off of a doodle that E.T. drew. Don't sue me, I don't have money to be sued for. Take my gold and my bow, you take my livelihood? You do this to me, man? You do this to me? In my own home? On the day of my daughter's wedding?
What?
I don't know why I turned fucking Scarface there. Right. Just kind of moving on here. Right. After pulling up to Cameron, you know, and her pulling out the fucking Glock on you guys, she put down the gun when she recognized Vincent. As it turns out, Cameron was also from Glowing Mills, originally. But now she's out here in Top 2, just living her life, which is understandable.
I never asked her why she didn't have her headband.
Yeah, you never
by
did.
the way, Vincent's
guess
headband.
What? You ain't gonna be able to
that's
ask
the
her.
Glowing Mills flag, by the way. That's everyone from Glowing Mills wears it.
Right. Specifically after, like, that whole thing happened with,
Thanks, E.T., for the follow.
So after finding it out, she talked about it a lot, and she started making connections, you know. She pulled them off to, like, essentially her room that she's been planning in this entire time. Yes, I did. One Piece did turn Godfather, yes. She pulled them off to her room, and then it was revealed she had, like, this entire fucking, like... So you know, like, the memes, like, the fucking, like, the paranoid memes where it's, like, that cork board that has, like, all those different yarns and pins and shit? Think of that. Like, just this huge-ass board that had all these different pins and yarn. Wow, that's a big-ass face right there. Holy shit.
That's how it goes.
Just pulling that on the screen. Yeah, just pull that off to the side for a second.
Yeah, I'm getting crap.
And these different images just all had just the different crime scenes that were going on around. All these different fucking bodies and shit like that. They all had one thing in common: the fact that they were all mutilated by a serrated blade. So it looked like whatever happened and did this shit, whoever the fuck did that shit, was definitely a person, and they were using a serrated blade of some kind in order to do it. And later on that night, after they got all the information they could, they dropped Axel off at Jonathan's place. Oh, also Cameron Stats is also Axel's mother. Would you look at that?
My aunt, my cousin.
True.
Also, by the way, here's Poppy's art, by the way.
Yeah.
So
Poppy, the kid. Yeah, because the main reason why the Justice Coat kind of touches the floor, because he's using his mother's Justice Coat. The main reason why it's like that is because his mother's a fucking Goliath. The motherfucker's 6'8" up here.
Maybe show like her art to onto the scale.
Yeah. Pull up Flora's art. Come on.
Yeah, sure.
Just after they found this, after they put the kid with the other kid, and they ended up leaving because, they were about to do their entire plan with the whole thing, They were going to set up the bonfire, just see if they can get this guy, Just find the fucking fucker who's just been killing everybody. And right around that time is when it started hitting nighttime. It's when the bad shit starts.
This is what Flora looks
So, yeah. And that is what Flora looks like, yes.
Poppy's mom. I just tried to draw a little gender bent version of when I drew Poppy.
Pretty much, yes. It definitely was not fun. Yeah, what happened at top 2. Right. After nighttime hit, just everyone just started hearing just like this humming off from like an alleyway. And then out came this rather dapper man looking in this fucking like just suit, red suit. Whether it was colored red before, it's maybe it was victims or whatever. I don't know, I'm not getting too edgy here. They started talking and shit because it's obvious that, hey, this is the guy, the guy. He revealed himself to be Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper. After they essentially met Jack the Ripper, they kind of went into that whole monologue thing or dialogue, villain goes off, heroes go off. They kind of do that swap on-off thing. I even tried punching him, and he ended up blocking it with a bone saw he had on hand. Specifically for this one, there was no talking him out of this, because this guy, it was later revealed after they kicked his ass, and then it revealed that the reason why he was killing was no sob story, nothing. He had no reason to kill except for the fact that he just found it funny. That's it. He had no other reason to kill except for the fact that he got enjoyment out of it. Maybe a little too much, but whatever. Never mentioned Axel, but we were just giving a general overskim, thing. Axel had a devil fruit that he ended up eating, because just happened to have the luck of finding a devil fruit that was growing in his goddamn garden.
His mom told him not to eat it.
Yeah, his mom told him not to eat it. He ate it. And he essentially ended up getting a fucking stand out of it.
Both my friend and I all saying that Jack the Ripper killed Milks.
What?
Okay.
I'm sorry, Jack the Ripper did kill Milks. I'm sorry. This is a One Piece setting game, but more so, the main thing here is we're focusing on our own thing right now, It's set in the One Piece world. Don't worry, you're gonna see some shit like Haki and Rokushiki later on. Nikolai also showed up a little bit of Conqueror's too during the fight, which kind of was like a spontaneous thing. By the way, I did kind of have to roll a D100 for that. I didn't really get it.
Nikolai's pet bird.
Yes. I'm not even gonna go into why that happens, by the way, because there's a story reason for that. But still. Also, by the way, Spark made the map. He did a good job on that.
You already said that.
Oh,
I did, but someone mentioned.
Why is he?
Someone mentioned Someone mentioned
Thank you, that guy.
topology. Obviously, because their home island's better than a fucking kid, obviously.
Yeah, it is.
Moving on here. After they saved Top 2 essentially, blah blah blah, all that different shit happened. They ended up sailing away, obviously, and then they hit Metal Valley. And on the way to Metal Valley, a little special thing happened. They ended up coming across a dinghy, which, by the way, was a little special random event that could have happened. They came across a dinghy that luckily Ivan, look, I don't know what to tell you about. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? I was talking to Paul in chat. Look, man. Look, I can't say shit, right? I don't know. Yeah, that's
don't know any
very.
timeline when we should tell about the timeline. We're set in like a few decades before the actual One Piece starts.
I thought it was 4 years after.
4 after the death of Roger, was it?
Yeah,
Something
it's
like that?
Rough Nut Rui wants for some reason to be the mother of Frankie. I really don't understand why, because.
And we're not getting into that. It's Saturday at 7 p.m. PST.
So back to the recap. To start wrapping it up.
There's the chicken in this OPD&D. I have a seagull, if that counts.
Yeah, he has Conqueror Saki. The crew, they name themselves the Golden Emery Pirates, and their ship, the Golden Pearl. As they head towards the next island, they see a news crew arrives and drops off a letter inviting Vincent and his crew to his grandpa Dante's 55th birthday party on Vincent's home island, Grilling Mills. They agreed to attend, and Nikolai, looking at the map, seeing this island named Metal Valley, Nikolai asks about it. Vincent says it's a land filled with blacksmiths and artisans who make very high quality goods. They decide to pay it a visit since it's right next to Grilling Mills. And on the way, they run into a storm. Thank you, Rick, for the follow. And Ivan rescues a lady and her baby. And Alana and Ivan perform a very risky surgery perfectly. The woman's name is Char and her son's name is Shot. The crew asks them where they're from and if they like a ride back. She begs them not to since she's scared of her ex-husband. They understand and welcome the pair aboard and agree to help them find a new home. Then, as Ivan navigates the Golden Pearl in a storm to Metal Valley safely, and Vincent, Ivan, Alana all go to the general store and buy medical supplies. Vincent buys some stuff as well. Most importantly, a glowing mill-styled coin purse of holding. It was really expensive, but luckily he was able to befriend and create a bond of allyship between Vincent and the shopkeeper named Kennedy, and become great friends, giving Vincent a discount on the bag. While shopping with Alana, Ivan gets a memory of the time he went shopping with his old friend Iris, which makes him a bit happy. Nikolai wakes up and goes shopping with Wilbur, and the crew all go back home, and Wilbur, Alana, and Ivan perform the surgery, with Vincent giving moral support, and it is done. Then Nikolai finds an odd dog with a scythe tattoo, and decides to say, "Don't forget" on his back.
Gregory, Alana and Nikolai talk about medical supplies. Alana letting him take a few. Gregory needs still some painkillers. He and my pet bird named Vero have an intense rivalry for some reason.
I don't
My eye started malfunctioning and stuff, and I go to the guy who sold to me. I think it's Kennedy's Gremlin Bastard's son. I like calling him Gremlin Bastard.
Call him what?
Kennedy's, I think, child, son, who runs the cybernetics shop.
Yeah.
Kenneth, I think.
Yeah. The cybernetic shop, I think.
I try to get it like fixed and stuff.
Yeah.
And we cut back to Ivan, and he actually sees a bounty hunter. And after a while, out comes a butler, and 3 kids. The 3 or 4 kids. Ivan changed a bit, and then go out to and fight some guys. Back to Nikolai, he receives the news that the program in his eye might have been tampered with, and he sees 3 people, one with a cloak, sort of like a Necronomicon or something, and a guy with a crown, and also a butler. pass by Ivan and one of them recognize him, and he actually starts following them until he was caught, and he and the butler kind of challenge each other to like a duel. They fight it, and we cut back to Nikolai. Actually, finding out that his eye has like a cool AI assistant. I actually did post a picture of the AI assistant. If you go back to the ship trying to make something so you can see his actual AI assistant and stuff. Ivan and the butler have like a cool fight, which I cannot put into words. And
He
then
was like block. He was like doing some defensive and pose stances.
and they kind of fight them. Look kinda having a very bad time because his outfit is ruined. And they kind of focus on each other, trying to hit her, and after they throw, he comes, and then almost when Ivan almost defeated the old man, Charles actually looks startled before apologizing, saying that he should actually leave, complimenting him and show his respect and stuff. And they cut back to the ship. Everyone's back at the ship.
I'm knitting.
Yeah, you knit.
I had a family trip last week, so I was able to participate. But I have a thing I'm planning. But so I needed time so that was my way of Vincent was just knitting the entire session.
Yeah, and Alina, Nikolai and Alina kind of talk a bit under the stars, and they go into her room to do some medical stuff.
And
That's it.
is that it?
Yeah.
Also, one more thing. Vincent has this. The people I mentioned earlier. He has this picture of them in his pocket, all everywhere. You get a picture of him, his friend Duke, his friend Lucia, and at the top is Grandpa Dante. And yes, this is just the Naruto team picture. I really liked it. Exactly, it is Naruto. So yeah, that's basically everything I think we have for recapping today. Is there anything you think we missed, E.T.?
So, picture of me and my brother. Actually,
Yeah.
Nikolai has a twin brother that he's looking for right now. Yeah, I have a twin brother that I'm searching for. I have a picture in my journal that I have, and I'm trying to find, and I'm couldn't trying to find him.
Alright, well, I think that's basically everything. Shady guy that they met earlier, Vincent ran to him as well, and he got a Den Mushy, a One Piece cell phone, and one way, and he was told to contact him when Dusk did anything big. So Vincent contacted him and was like, "Hey, he just saved a baby from starving to death in the ocean." And he was like, "Yo, he's pretty cool." So that's basically everything for now. Bye.
See you.